I wanted to make something pretty clear. I decided to participate in these interviews, not to throw shade at anyone, but to simply talk about why I left the Cabal. And there are a whole lot of issues. I mean, a fuck ton of issues that could be discussed, but some of those things are private. I feel need to be kept out of the spotlight. This is not the left-hand path days of our lives. So.
So who are you?
Isn't that the ultimate question? Who are you? My full name is Samaia Eldraath, but everyone calls me Samaia. And although I've left the Cabal, the Eldraath is staying attached to my name. It's kind of like when a woman gets divorced from her husband and she keeps the last name. So It will always and continue to be Samaia Eldraath.
And what position did you hold within the Cabal ranks?
I held the supreme title for a time of the Mistress of the Tower of Whispers. And I feel like in order for people to truly understand and grasp the energy and power of that tower, you need to take your panties off, you might need to lay back, cock those legs up. You can't just lay there like a dead fish. You gotta move a little bit. You gotta participate. You gotta participate. You can't just lay there. You gotta be active. Sorry, I had to get that out.
Of course. So, how long were you in?
How long was I in? Like, yes. How long was I in jail? How long was I in the slammer? Well, how long were you in for? I was in for, let me think here. I officially had joined in September of 2012 and then left the end of October 2015.
And what was it like at that time?
When I first got there, I still kind of fell back a little bit because I wanted to have a chance to observe how people interacted with each other, how things were done, what the general vibration was. And it was actually pretty awesome. It was like a family environment, where you could be there with like-minded people and not have to explain or defend the lifestyle that you were living. You were just there with other people that understood exactly what was going on, that understood how you felt about things. And the sanctuary was truly at that time a sanctuary. It was a place that you could just go and, you're out dealing in your regular job in the mundane world, and then you could come to the sanctuary and you could talk to your like-minded brothers and sisters. And that is, in fact, how we regarded each other. That's how we interacted with each other as brother and sister. But what was really amazing, shortly after I joined, one of the Cabal members was having a major fucking problem in life. And I watched how a lot of the other disciples kind of came to his aid. They sent money. There was a lot of support given. And he even went to go and live with one of the disciples. So at that time, I was like, holy shit, maybe this really is the place for me. I can see that people care about each other and they are taking care of their own. So it actually felt really good. The people that stood out a lot in my mind when I first got there was Shiva, Celastra, Tenebros, and Vetulus. They were there like all the time, kind of helping people, answering questions, giving guidance, mentoring, just helping people to move along on their journey. I'm not really sure where Samus was during part of this time. He wasn't around a lot. I figured that he must have been busy creating relics, or I don't know what the hell. But The four of them were the ones that really welcomed me in, and I was welcomed in very quickly and easily by the other disciples. So it was really like a real family environment. And I'm not saying that it was perfect, but there was the intention of having a family and a group of people that were supportive.
Who all was on the advisory council even before Third Coven?
It was myself and Shiva and Salastra. You know, we were doing more than just giving assistance for Cabal-related workings. It was giving him assistance in his personal life. And by doing that, thought that would help take some of the pressure off of him in his personal life so that he could focus more on Cabal issues. So we were just having, just weekly Skype meetings. We would just bounce around ideas and talk about membership and how to really move the Cabal forward. I was spending a lot of time with Sarazine and the infernal aristocracy. And it was all about an elevation of status. And so for myself, the focus was we need to elevate the status of the Cabal, making it a very well-respected organization, a place that people would want to join because they knew we were serious and we knew what we were doing.
The big question, why did you leave?
Well, that is a very loaded question. Let me see if I can try to put some type of a timeline or an order to this. So let's start with the blood ritual that we did at Third Coven, which was to promote three masters, myself, Shiva, and Salastra, and you as the emissary. So it was Somnus, myself, Salastra, Shiva, and you were there. Mm-hmm. So you know what happened.
Yeah.
And you would think that if you're going to do that type of a ritual, that type of a very intense ritual that is done for the purposes of binding people together. And if you're binding people together, it means that there will be a deepening of the relationships and interactions between the people. So we have that. And then after Third Coven is when things really started to fall apart. It was basically like a very fast sleigh ride that descended into hell. Not the hells, but into hell. A place where nobody really wanted to be. There was that posting about knees that don't bend will be broken. People started to become very worried about the direction with which the Cabal was going into. Anytime asking a question about what these new mandates were about and what was going on was met with a lot of anger. And this whole don't question me, or why are you questioning me? These are the mandates of the blighted. I'm sorry, but after a while, it didn't feel like they were really the mandates of the blighted. They felt more like they were Somnus's mandates. He became hostile, was angry, and it came through in the nature of his posts on the sanctuary, which after a very short time, when we had come back from Third Coven, it no longer started to feel like a sanctuary. It started to feel like some kind of a jail or a prison, because anytime anyone had any type of criticism or anything negative to say, or people were trying to hunt down their relics and figure out what was going on, there was like a lash. Basically, don't question me, don't ask any questions, you'll get your shit when you get it, and don't fucking question me about what I'm saying with these mandates. Just do what the fuck I say or else. And so when you're coming with that kind of an attitude to people, a couple of things are going to happen. People are going to become afraid, or people are going to get fucking pissed off and be like, you know what, fuck this. I didn't sign up for this shit. I don't need anybody speaking to me like that. This don't question me type of attitude. Who the fuck are you? Yes, you are the ascended Grand Master of this Cabal, but not of my life. I mean, honestly, what really are you going to do at that point? You going to take the hint and get the fuck out, or are you going to stay there and take whatever abuse or other kinds of fuckery were coming?
It's not what we signed up for. Definitely not what I signed up for. And that was very different than how things had begun for me there. And for things to have ended on this type of a note was definitely stressing for quite some time, especially when you pour your heart into something, pour your heart, your time, your love, and your energy. We're definitely having two very different approaches to reaching, I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do towards the end. So, it's like when you have a business partner and you're in a venture together and you have a shared vision for the future. And then over time, they start having a completely different vision than you, a different way to achieve that vision. And it's not unusual for people to then part ways. We have some strong differences of opinions where you see things happening that you don't agree with and you are just not okay. So I just wanted to make that point clear of why I left, kind of clear my name a little bit, because I'm sure quite a bit of dirt has been thrown onto it. And people that were not involved in a lot of the situations, you weren't there, so there's really nothing for you to say about that.